guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the new Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret Sewer Layer playset. Oh yeah. So the Sewer Layer playset has always been a staple of past Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy lines. If you collected the original line in the 80s and 90s, then I guarantee you probably had that iconic playset back in the day. So, with this brand new toy line, we get a brand new sewer home playset. Is it something that's going to hold up to the original? Is it going to be better than the original? Well, let's take a look. So one of the things I have to talk about first of all is the packaging that this thing comes in. It comes in a massive box that's got that same bright purple and green color scheme that we've seen on all of the single carded figures. But what's really great about this is it features some awesome artwork of the playset within. This is great because this is just like I mentioned with the actual turtle van that I reviewed. It's all artwork on there. It's not a photograph of the playset, but it's all designed to look like the action figures in the playset, and I just think there's something so cool about that. In fact, everything about the artwork on this box totally harkens back to the vintage toy lines, which is something that I really love. I'm a huge fan of really well done box art on toys because it seems to be a lost art these days. So looking at this massive box, you might have noticed by now that it mentions that this playset is over 40 inches tall. That's right, this thing is going to be massive. It also mentions that there are over 20 features and multiple ninja battle levels. All around the box, we get lots of images depicting some of the different action features that are inside of this playset. And one side of the box even lists off several of the things that we'll see inside. On that list are things like the turtle fly line, the secret dumpster Periscope, the shred head practice dummy, the drop-in manhole door, real working elevator, flip-kicking ladder, and the list goes on and on. And you know what? There's this little part at the very bottom that has me incredibly excited. You see how there's this little asterisk after Mutagen ooze Drainpipe that leads down to the bottom that says ooze not included? Ooze not included? Does that mean there's an action feature inside here that uses slime? Actual ooze? While that hasn't been released yet, that has high hopes for me that we are going to see some actual ooze released in stores, just like in the vintage toy line. Oh yeah. Alright, so when you pull this thing out, obviously there's going to be some assembly required. You can see there are lots of different pieces here, but have no fear, there is a set of instructions that is included that will help guide you through putting this whole thing together. On top of that, there is a large sticker sheet, 2 of them in fact, so there will be a lot of stickers that you need to put on here as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, I'm going to put the whole thing together, and then we're going to take a look at it. This is it. This is the brand new Secret Sewer Home playset. It's massive. Look at this thing. I mean, sure, I've got it up on a table, but even up on this table, this thing is now taller than me. This thing is a massive 40 inches tall. And yes, there are some cardboard pieces on here that help to add to the height, but you know what? I remember when I first originally saw pictures of this, I thought, probably it's going to be mostly cardboard on the top and that's why it's so big. No, that's not really the case. Because if you notice, the plastic building of the backdrop goes up most of the way up here, and the cardboard is only a little bit above that. There's really not a lot of cardboard to this. Most of this playset is full-on plastic. Nice, solid plastic. And the playset holds together very nicely. I've been able to move this around from the floor up to the table from different rooms. I haven't had any problems with it falling apart. So once you hook it all together, snap it together, it is nice and solid. It's going to work great for both a display piece and for kids that are wanting to play with this. So already right off the bat, I'm pretty impressed with it. So putting it together, Took me probably about 20 minutes or so. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of hard work involved. There's instructions that will help guide you through the entire thing. It's just a matter of clipping pieces together, locking them in place, and applying the stickers. But like I said, 20 minutes or so, boom, you were ready to go. So now that we got this bad boy all put together, let's take a look at exactly what all is included here. Now, the design of this is really cool. As you can see, it's reminiscent of the vintage sewer home playset in the way that it's got an above street scene and then the below street scene, which is the sewer. Now the difference is that this time around, we have a lot of space in the sewer portion. I mean, this thing is massive. It's practically 3 stories of play. There's lots of platforms and little levels and everything for all of your turtles to kind of play around with. And it's really cool because while a lot of it is just solid color plastic, you can notice like the green in here is just a solid color green. There's not a lot of paint deco or anything like that. But there are a lot of really cool stickers and such that we had to apply. A lot of the stuff is very reminiscent, again, of a lot of the vintage stuff we've seen. We've got a lot of basic stuff like levers and dials and caution signs and stuff like that. But then even up above the street, you look at stuff like the dumpster and you've got the graffiti, the posters, the slices of pizza. You've even got like Antonio's Pizzarama. We got a pizza restaurant right there above the sewers. Perfect for the Ninja Turtles. So even though a lot of the actual plastic is simple deco, not painted, we do have a lot of cool touches on there like the stickers that help it to stand out and look really nice. And even though the plastic is all solid colored underneath the ground here in the sewer, there's still a lot of great sculpting going on. There's a lot of great brick patterns. You can see piping on the walls, lots of cool stuff like that. So, yeah, sure, a really nice solid paint job would be great with this, but I mean, this is definitely passable. It works great. It still looks awesome as a display piece. It's still very colorful. Love all the different stickers on there. So, you can see I got the turtles and some of the other figures standing down here at the bottom. That gives you a really good idea of the scale of this entire thing. I mean, these guys look tiny compared to the rest of this whole thing. I mean, this sewer is just massive. Massive playset. This has got to be one of the biggest playsets I have ever seen in person. It's very, very cool. Alright, so lots of different action features going on. Like I told you before, there are 20 different action features involved in this playset here. So why don't we take a look at some of the cool things that we can see and do with this cool playset here. Now let's go ahead and start off with some stuff down here in the actual sewer. You'll notice that they've got this cool little tunnel piece over here on the side. This whole thing right here unfolds, which reveals Donatello's workstation. Now this is very cool because you got lots of little keyboards and everything down on the desk portion, and then there are several different screens up there with nice stickers on them. That's got some great shots of the New York City scene and everything. Great for Donatello or April O'Neil or whoever you want to sit there and do some work on the computer down in the sewer home. Right behind that, we got this awesome tire swing. Shell Tire Company is printed right there on it. It's kind of a fun little accessory. It's hanging by a rope that just clips on up to the pipe. So technically, you could probably clip this anywhere you want to in the sewer home. And that way you can get, you know, your turtles just to kind of swing around on there if you want to, have some fun with it. You can use it to knock over the bad guys if the bad guys break in, or apparently dive bomb Splinter like Michelangelo just did down there. But, you know, it's a good time. Really cool to play with. Over here, we got this awesome training gear. Of course, you got this nice little dummy. Looks like Shredder. Very cool. It's got like a little spatula and everything coming off the hand there. Hanging by a piece of string. This is just a separate piece. It doesn't attach anywhere in the playset, but it's a cool little practice dummy, so you know your turtles can be sparring with it, preparing to do their battle with Shredder. Very cool little accessory there. Now up here on this area, we can see in the background, there's a nice little sticker on some doors there that looks like it goes even deeper into the sewer home. This, of course, could be like where Splinter goes in to do some meditation to get away from the turtles doing dive bombs off the tire swing there. Both the doors have little handles on the back. You can slide them open just as such. You can send your Splinter off to retire. You can get the doors to slide back closed. So that's a cool little feature there. Then we got down here at the very bottom, we have the secret dumpster periscope. Now this is an accessory that is another thing that really harkens back to the original sewer playset. If you remember, the original playset had that fire hydrant up on the top with the eyeball in it that led down to the little periscope down in the sewer. So this is very much the same thing. You got the little handles on there, and there's a sticker on it where you can see up on the streets of New York City. And of course this turns around and it rotates. And by pressing it up, well, if we take a look up here at the top, above the ground at the dumpster, you can see the periscope popping out of the dumpster lid there. And it's got a really cool sticker on it that is Donatello's eyes. So there's a little purple bandana and some eyes peeking through. And you can swivel that around. And of course you can lower it back down and the lid closes on the dumpster again to hide it. So that's a really cool action feature. And again, very reminiscent of the original playset, which is something that I love. I love all the nods to the original toy line here. So there's just lots of cool little pillars and everything going on the inside. You can see above the periscope we've got this great little walkway that heads up to the city streets up above. All of these little platforms can fold up. So if they want to keep the foot out, you know, you can fold up the ladders, everything like that. But it's a really cool little spiral stairwell, if you will, that goes up. And at the top we've got the sewer lid here, and there's a little release button. So when you press it, it actually drops the sewer lid down with a little ladder that goes to the top of that spiral staircase. So the turtles actually have a cool little ladder that they can climb up to come up to the New York City streets up above. Very cool little feature right there. Another fun feature on the back here, we've got this great little flipping panel. You can see we can rotate it around so that way it's just solid green, blends in with all the bricks in the background. When you rotate it back around, it reveals a cool little control panel of sorts. And what's really neat about this too is it's got a trick platform. So say one of your foot soldiers accidentally breaks into the sewer layer, he gets to this platform to check out this control panel. Well, bad news for him, it drops out from underneath, sends the foot soldier dropping down to his doom. So that's a fun little feature there. You can just lock it back in place by folding it back up. Now, one of the fun things, you heard me get excited about this when I was talking about the packaging. There is this really cool ooze compartment. It's the Mutagen Ooze Drainpipe. Now, they haven't released any actual ooze slime accessory for the new Turtles toy line yet, but I can only imagine that it has to be on the way, especially with this action feature. Lucky for you guys, I always keep some slime handy in my collection, so we can check out this really cool feature. We got this red barrel up on the top of the city streets here. You can see there's some cool little sculpted green ooze already coming out of it. So what you can do is you can actually fill this with your ooze. And once you get it filled with the ooze, you'll notice that immediately down below it, we've got this gray drain pipe. And this can swivel around. And we've got that same green ooze sculpt coming on the bottom of it. So you can kind of slide that around. There's a little platform underneath it here, or you can swivel it around to have it drop straight down into the sewer home. So, I think you're probably making the connection now, right? This little red barrel right here has the ability to flip down. The ooze will then pour out of the red barrel into that little drain pipe down underneath it. And eventually, slowly, it will make its way through the drain pipe, out the other end, and dribble down onto your action figures down below. So it's a cool little slime pit of Mutagen ooze right there in the sewer home. And it has to be my absolute favorite action feature in this because, let's face it, I'm just a sucker for slime. Slime is awesome, and come on, you can't have Ninja Turtle toys without slime. It's like a staple. Very cool to have that feature included. Now, there's even some action features up here above the city streets. One of the cool things is right here on this electric pole, you'll see the little electric canister that's up there at the top of the telephone pole. And there's a platform up here too, so you can get one of your foot soldiers or whatever to stand up on this platform. And if you reach into this little canister, well, you can pull out a hidden little bazooka. And it fires a projectile missile. So you can pull that out, you can aim it around, and you got your foot soldier firing projectile missiles down at the turtles below, which is really cool. Now over here on the other side, we've got this little yellow door to the pizza place. Now, this may just look like a standard pizza place, but unbeknownst to Shredder, this is a secret way to get down into the sewer layer. You can slide open the yellow door, and there's a little platform on the backside that has a little peg on it for the turtles' feet. And then there's a little lever that lowers them down into the sewer home. Bam! So suddenly, the turtles are now in the sewer layer. Cool little elevator feature. Again, another cool feature that we saw in the original sewer home playset. There was an elevator just like this that lowered down into the sewer home. So another feature, very reminiscent of the original. I love it, love it, love it. Of course, on the back side, we've also got some more ladders. You can see there's little fold-down ladders in the back here, ladder over here on the side. We've got a little sewer grate down in the bottom that's got a drain pipe with some actual sewage and everything down there. So there are lots of cool little doors and ladders, lots of things to climb on, lots of platforms that you can stand your turtles on. And one of the great things is almost all of the platforms do have foot pegs, so you can stand any of the figures on them. Lots of great ways to pose your toys, play with your toys. This thing is just really incredible. Now, one of the last things that it came with is this cool little turtle fly line. Now, the way this works is we actually got this little clamp, and you got some string that hooks to it. So what you can do is if you've got a place to hook this clamp up, you can attach that clamp somewhere, and then the string has a hook on the end of it. So you can attach the hook, say, I don't know, up here to the little balcony that's hanging off this building, which we do have a ladder from, by the way, that we can fold down. And then you've got the little handlebars that you can put on the bottom of the zip line, and your turtles can come zipping down onto the playset. So that's a really cool feature, although you're really going to need to find some room to actually stretch this thing out. If you've really got a nice solid table or another shelf or something like that that you can really stretch that out to, you can get your turtles to come swinging down onto the playset, which is very, very cool. Alright guys, so here's the fun thing. I know that you want to see this in comparison to some of the old sewer home playsets. So, we're going to go and try that right now. This is a hard comparison time because all these things are so big. But here we go. It's comparison time. Here is the brand new Secret Sewer Home standing alongside the vintage Sewer Home playset. Now you guys remember this thing, right? Classic playset. Anybody that had the old Turtles toy line probably had this playset. Now when we pull out, look at how massive the new one is with this one in front of it. It towers over this new one. Of course, you can still see some of the similarities because the old playset had the same thing going on with the above ground scene and the below ground scene, but man, this new playset is just gigantic in comparison. Alright, so how about the Turtle Home from the 2003 toy line? Any of you guys have that? That one was a little bigger. I mean, it was a big playset in its own right. It was much bigger than the vintage one. Had a lot of room inside of it, great place to store figures, great place to play with figures, but again, zooming out, the new one is still towers over the 2003 version. It's amazing looking at these side by side to see just how big this new playset is. Alright, so I know one of the other things you guys want to see is how some of the old Ninja Turtles figures and even the new Classics figures look while positioned in this new Sewer Home playset. So, this is something that I like to call the Comparison Time Montage. Enjoy! So there you go, guys. That is a look at the brand new Secret Sewer Home playset from the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy line. It's amazing. It is so, so big. And as you can see, it works with lots of your classic Ninja Turtles figures, which are all basically in the same scale as these new ones. The new Classics figures, while they are a little big for it, this playset's big enough that they almost do still work just fine. And of course, they are the perfect fit for these new Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures. So if you're looking for an amazing display piece, this thing has got so much room on it. It's a great way to display an awesome battle scene with all your Ninja Turtles figures. If you've got kids that are planning to play with this, I could not think of a cooler playset. Oh, I couldn't imagine having this thing as a kid. I would love to have this thing to play with as a kid. I mean, this thing is bigger than most kids. How awesome is that? Parents, seriously, get out there and buy this for your kids. They will love you forever. Collectors, huge TMNT fans, if you can afford to pick this thing up, because it is a little expensive, around $100 or so, but if you can afford to pick this up, if you can swing it, I promise you will not regret it. This is an amazing playset. It's very well done, great display piece, and I think it'll make any Ninja Turtles fan very happy. Until next time.